Uh, Thank you very much for joining us today. Officially, we invite Mr. Guna, our GOPIO president, and our India-Malaysia Heritage, Mr. Sasi, the president unable to come, the general secretary will be coming soon. Then we invite our Malaysian Odia Association, the expatriate, okay, Dr. Satyabrata, and of course our teacher, Amla, and our brothers and sisters, and also our friends here, Sivabalan, Reva, a few of them. Very soon, later people will be joining after the work. Malaysia is 9:35, 9:40. And I welcome Mr. Sunil. Mr. Sunil is our Kalinga representative who does weekly Kalinga history. And that's how I came to know him. And that's how, we started. Our Odia class has been going on for the past, I think, about 7-8 weeks. And today we officially will launch. And we also have some of the Odissi dancers who will be joining us to learn Odia data part. So today, basically, we will learn about 6 letters, basic 6 letters. And before that, Mr. Sunil Bhai will start our introduction, how he started the program. So at present, we have only President Guna, and maybe later Mr. Sasi, Malaysia Heritage General Secretary, will join us. So to you, Mr. Sunil, namaskar again.
Namaskar everyone. My name is Sunil Biswal. I am from Odisha. The ancient Kalinga is nowadays, it is named Odisha. And for past 1 year, I have been conducting weekly webinars about history, culture, heritage, and such things about Odisha. Like me, many of our Odia people, we share a common belief that not much is known about the glorious past of Kalinga in a national scenario of India or at an international level. If you look at ancient times, and if you look at maps which are available even on the internet, if you go back to time like 400 BC or 500 BC, you will find maps. In those maps, you will find few of places in Odisha like Kalinga being mentioned there. And in 261 BC, when Emperor Ashoka invaded Kalinga and conquered Kalinga through a bloody war by killing millions of people, he had a transformation of heart, and he sent his son and daughter. He embraced Buddhist religion at that place, and then right on the battlefield, it is said, and his son and daughter went to different places of Southeast Asian countries to spread the Buddhist religion. And how did they go? They went by using the merchant, sea-going vessel of Kalinga merchants. In 261 BC, Kalinga merchants had seafaring skills, and they were regularly operating vessels to far off places like Java, Sumatra, Borneo, and Sinhala. So this is kind of a glorious heritage of Kalinga, but not much is known about it in national scenario of India. And in the recent times, like many of our Odia brothers, along with other communities from India, they also went to many places in different countries during the British rule, and they settled there, they become citizens there, and they are living in those countries now as citizens. Like you people are also, most of today's participants are belonging to Malaysia. So in your community of Indian people, there is also a small community which has its origin in Odisha. So it so happened when I started this Kalinga history and cultural talks weekly webinar, I met many people who kind of pointed me to Rangadhar Bhai, Ringoh Bhai. So Ringoh Bhai was a Odia speaking person who was, who is based in Malaysia, and then that is how I got got his contact. Then we interacted, and we also had one webinar for Malaysian Odias on my Kalinga History channel. So later on, we felt that our brothers and sisters who are in Malaysia, they have kept Odia traditions alive, but they lack the skills to read and write. So thanks, one good thing opens door to many good things. We had one volunteer named Mrs.Kamalakumari Das, who is a retired professor from Rajadhani College Bhubaneswar. She volunteered on her own to take the responsibility of teaching Odia language to our brothers and sisters who are based in Malaysia. So there is a lot of things we can discuss about Kalinga and its past and its connection with different nations on the Indian Ocean region. But what is important for us today is to spread the skills in reading and writing in Odia script to our brothers and sisters who are in Malaysia. So I must thank Kamalakumari Madam, who is also present in this webinar. And in fact, once we have our sessions over, she would be starting her regular classes. She has already been teaching many of our Odia brothers and sisters. And today's meeting is also a continuation of our efforts. So I am again thankful that so many of our Odia brothers and sisters, including our persons from our Indian community, they have joined. And this shows how much support you have for keeping the Indian tradition alive in a foreign land. Thank you. I'm really feel grateful to Rangadhar Bhai for making this happen. And before I move on to the next session, next part of the program, I would give a small introduction about Ringadhar Bhai, who is doing through whom this particular effort, this noble effort has become a reality. Rangadhar Bhai is one PhD in international business management, and he had been faculty teaching management principles to university level students. And apart from that, he is also involved with many organizations for the Indians and also Odias in Malaysia. So later on, we'll get to know more about him in due course of time. But at the moment, I would request Rangadhar Bhai to kindly ask if Parikshita Bhai is there to sing a prayer with which we would start today's program. Rangadhar Bhai, has Parikshita Bhai joined?
Pitambar Bhai can sing also. Pitambar
Bhai, namaskar. Namaskar. Pitambar Bhai, kindly sing a prayer for this program to commence with divine blessing. Pitambar Bhai?
Yeah, prayer.
Yeah.
Any prayer can do, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Carry on.
Let's pray.
Yeah.
Uho sokol pordartho urdhore sokol pordarthoku Ishwarahi purana karanti sorgore অবামর্ত্যরে কেহি নুহে কিন্তু এক মাত্র ঈশ্বরহি পূরণকারী বাস্তবিক তাଙ୍କ ଅଭ୍ୟନ୍ତରରେ ସେ ନିଜେ ହିଁ ଜ୍ଞାନତା ଧାରଣକାରୀ ସର୍ବଶକ୍ତିମାନ. Thank you.
Wonderful.
He is a very good singer.
Oh,
Sunil
beautiful.
bhai?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful.
And I would now request Kamalakumari madam to
No,
sing.
no. So he sang, that is enough.
Okay. Rangadhar bhai, will you speak anything more before letting others also speak?
Yeah, actually, the inception of this Odia class and education had started 100 over years ago. I remember it is around 1920. There were few teachers came from Orissa at that time to the Malaysia, arranged by the British Raj, and that's how it started. These stories are from our grandparents. My mother, who learned from them the Odia language, and she was educated in one language. She can't speak Bahasa Malaysia, Tamil, or English, but because of that one language, Odia language, she maintained a lot of things. She even ran a small shop in the plantation, keeping account, and everything written in Odia language. And also at the same time, they became a teacher to our generation, that is me. So in the 1960s, when we were kids, that's how we learn the language as Sorio, Soria, Horsoi, Dirghei, Horso, Dirgo. You see? And later it become O, A, E, E, U, U. And, with that presence of our parents, what happened is the plantation, they started Tamil schools, and that's how the children, they went to Tamil school, which is the nearest walking distance nearby. And of course, we had an opportunity because my father was a supervisor in the estate. We had an opportunity to go to English school in the 60s. And those who can't afford to go, they will go to the Tamil school. And that's how the culture, the Odia people's culture changed. When they go to Tamil school, they adopt to the Tamil culture. And there was a mix of Odia and Tamil. And later part, they got married to Tamils. And that's how from 50% becomes 75%. And, the assimilate the Tamil culture. But of course, the effort of our great-grandparents of maintaining that language. As I spoke very long time ago, I still remember when I have my toothache, my mother will chant certain prayers. And these are the things that still, rings in our ears, that when we seek our children, we will continue doing that. So one of that was so interestingly that she will chant a prayer on the Krishna. We didn't know the meaning and understanding because we didn't learn our language. So the chanting goes this way. Koili kesogo je mathura ko gola, kaha gole gola putra, baudi noila lo koili. Koili khondakira devi mohika ku. So these are the things that I'm 69. I remember I was 4 or 5 years old. We learned the language through chanting and songs. So today, or just few months ago, we have repeated that. And of course, our niece, nephew, some of my cousins and friends, like brother Pitambaro, who was in India, who works in the Hattalega as a human resource manager, they start helping us, assisting us, and we started this program with the help of Mr. Sunil. And with that, today we have invited few friends to join us. There are few new friends, and we will launch officially today the Odia class on learning. And we have a lot of Odyssey learning children who are non-Odias. They are from Malayali, Tamil, Telugu, and they will be joining soon in the class on every Wednesdays. So, dear friends, I would like to introduce a close friend of mine. We work together with GOPIO, Global Organization of Indian Origin. Mr. Guna, we worked together just recently, last week, 4 days, 3-4 days, we had the exhibition on our Odia history. And later I will share what I've shared. So I would like to invite Mr. Guna to share about the interaction with the Odia people. Mr. Guna, please. Guna is the president of GOPIO. Brother, welcome, brother.
Welcome. Thank you, Dr. Rengadhar and Mr. Sunil from Odisha and friends here. Thank you for welcoming me for a small briefing what we have done so far. GOPIO, global organization for people of Indian origin, it was started in 1989 in New York, and we have chapters in all over the world, many countries. And GOPIO Malaysia chapter is one of the active chapter, and we carry out many activities in the past. PIO card, now they call it OCI card. Privacy Bharatiya Divas that being held in India now is every 2 years. Scholarship for our PIO children, and many other programs launched by the government of India. We have a cultural center in Malaysia. It's all mooted by GOPIO Malaysia for the benefit of PIO, that means people of Indian origin in Malaysia. Though Malaysia, majority among Indian is Tamil, about 80%. We have Telugu, Malayalis, Punjabis, and Gujaratis, and Orissa. Now they call Odia. And what we started was last year was PIO Day. Okay, People of Indian Origin Day. Actually, we want to ascertain when is the first arrival of Indian from Bharat. You see, there are Indians being brought out by British, Dutch, French, and the colonies to various parts of the world. There were Indians diaspora, now we call PIO, in Fiji, Suriname, South Africa, Mauritius, and so on and so forth, and this part of the world, Singapore, Malaysia, Myanmar, and so on. And all these people have been, we have gathered them. We have almost about 30 to 35 million outside India who has lost the connection, but now we are connecting back to India, and more so after Modi ji became the Prime Minister. So what we are doing is to unearth the heritage, the language, whatever law history in this region. When I spoke to Dr. Rengadhar the other day, there was a valley we call the Bujang Valley in Malaysia. Every time the excavation is done, there's always statue of Buddha, Shiva, or Ganesha only comes out. So much so our Malaysian government is no more extracting, and then they have zoned the area not to be accessible to anyone. So when I look back the history, how Buddhist or Buddha statue was there, he was narrating that Guna is not only Raja Cholan came 1,000 years ago. It could be 2,000 or 3,000 ago. Kalinga people would have arrived here and brought this Buddhist religion. That's how it spread to Sri Lanka, and then also spread to this part of the world and region. It could be Kalinga people or Orissa people came this part of the world before the Tamil king or Tamilis came over. I'm not very sure. Okay, these are the history that we want to study and then bring about. Okay, we had the academic forum. We spoke to our Indian government. Our Indian minister, state minister, came over last year and this year. We spoke to him that we need to do a lot of research on this area. We want to bring about what is Malayali contribution, Telugu contribution, Odia contribution, Punjabi contribution, Gujarati, and so on. And then parallelly, we had this heritage exhibition during the PIO day. I'm really impressed with Dr. Ringoh's commitment. You know, the 3 days from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. without fail, whenever I go to the heritage site in Odisha corner, only Dr. Rengadhar was there explaining the whole thing to any visitors without hesitation, without tiredness. I think we have to give him a round of applause for his contribution and his dedication for the Odia community in this country. Okay, I really salute you, brother, for that without fail. So how that is how we also promote. There was a Chetty community. So we want to bring all the community together once a year. Let us celebrate our diversity as a unity. And then we've started promoting after this the PIO day. Even Indian High Commissioner Mr. Bian Reddy told me that because of PIO day, they're having a series of language series in the Indian Cultural Center in Kuala Lumpur. There was a series of like language promotion on Punjabi the other day, and Telugu, Malayalam, Tamil, and then Odia language also will be promoted. That is how we want to create awareness to our children. So this beautiful language, beautiful culture, Odia or Punjabi, whatever, we want to retain, we want to preserve as much as we can. GOPIO is there to help every community, and through the government of India, whatever resource that we receive, we will share with all the sub-community that in this country. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Mr. Rengadhar, Dr. Rengadhar. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you for everyone. We will see you again. I'll see you again. Thank you very much. Nandri Vanakkam.
Thank you, Shah.
Thank you,
That was
brother.
quite illuminating speech. Thank you again. Over to you, Rengadhar bhai.
Thank you very much, Brother Guna. We worked many years, and I became a life member with that organization, and we work, with all aspects of life. There were also programs that GOPIO has invited our Professor Achyuta, and we have given also an award to him for running the KIT University. That is, I think, around 8-9 years ago. So, actually GOPIO, we have to salute GOPIO for keeping all the Indians, united, and we are working together. And we have to look forward. This is how, as a minority of the minority, the Odisha community, only few thousand, that we work with everybody. We work with the Bengali, okay, who are our cousins the other side. We work also with the Telugu, the Malayali, the Singh, and especially now the Malacca Chetty, who become our close friends after these 2 years, sharing and caring, eating together, staying in the same exhibition center. So friends, now I would like to invite
Rengadhar bhai, before moving on to the next speaker, there is one researcher from Odisha, Dr. Bharati. She is very passionate about our Odias living outside India. So we shall ask her to make a brief statement, then we can move on to the next speaker. All right? Dr. Bharati? She has been waiting to speak to the community of Odias and Indians who are outside Odisha. So, Dr. Bharati, over to you.
Namaskar, madam.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
ଆମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କଥା ହେଇପାରିବା?
Can. Okay, we will explain. Sure.
ମତେ ଏମିତି ଲାଗୁଥିଲା ଯେ ଯୋଉ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ରାଜ ଆମ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଅଲଗା କରିଦେଲା 150 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବେ, ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କ ଭାଷାରେ ଏବେ କଥା ହଉଛେ। 150 ବର୍ଷ ଆଗରୁ ଆପଣ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଆମଠୁ ଅଲଗା କରିଦେଲେ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ମାନେ, ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କ ଭାଷାରେ ଏବେ କଥା ହଉଛେ। ତ ମତେ ଆଜିର ଯୋଉ ଗ୍ୟାଦରିଂ ଟା ଦେଖିଲା ପରେ ମୋ ଭିତରେ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଆସୁଛି ଫିଲିଂ ଯେ ଯୋଉ 2000 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବେ ବୃହତ କଳିଙ୍ଗ ତିଆରି ହେଇଥିଲା, ମାନେ ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ଲୋକମାନେ, କଳିଙ୍ଗର ଲୋକମାନେ ଅଧିକାଂଶ ସାଉଥ ଇଷ୍ଟ ଏସିଆନ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି ଯେତେ ସବୁ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଦ୍ୱୀପ ଦେଶ ସବୁ ଆଇଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିଜ, ତା ଭିତରୁ ଅଧିକାଂଶ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ସାଧବ ମାନେ, ଆମ ମର୍ଚାଣ୍ଟ ମାନେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଯାଉଥିଲେ ସବୁ ଟ୍ରେଡିଂ ପାଇଁ ବୋଲି, ସେମାନେ ସେଗୁଡାକ ସବୁ ଆବିଷ୍କାର କରିଛନ୍ତି। କେବେ କେବେ ସେମାନେ ସବୁ ସେ ଜାଗା ସବୁ ସେମାନେ ଆବିଷ୍କାର କରିଛନ୍ତି। ସେଠି ପ୍ରଥମ ଜନବସତି ଓଡ଼ିଆ ମାନେ ବସେଇଛନ୍ତି। ସେଠିକାର ରାସ୍ତା ଘାଟ ଜଙ୍ଗଲ କାଟିକି ତାର ମାନେ ତିଆରି କରିଛନ୍ତି। ସେମାନେ ସେଠିକାର ସଭ୍ୟତା ପ୍ରଥମେ ତିଆରି କରିଛନ୍ତି, ଆଉ ତାପରେ ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ରାଜା ମାନେ ଯାଇକି ସେଇଠି ଶାସନ କରିଛନ୍ତି। ତ ତେଣୁ ସେଇ ସମୟରେ ଯୋଉଟା मेनलैंड इंडिया रे जो कलिंग थिला सेटा को भारत कलिंग कुआउतिला आउ सबु जेते जगह रे साउथ ईस्ट एशियन कंट्री माने करे हमर ओडिया माने कलिंगर शासक माने शासन करथिले से सबु को मिसी की बृहत कलिंग कुआउतिला बृहत कलिंग मते लागुची बृहत कलिंगर पुनरुत्थान होबाकू जाउची पुणी थरे आउ आपण माने सेतिरे सबु गोटे बड़ बड़ योद्धा आउ प्रथमे मालेशिया रु से एफर्ट टा आरंभ होची आमे मोर दृढ़ विश्वास जे आगो को आमे सबु साउथ ईस्ट एशियन कंट्री मान सहित कनेक्टेड हबा आउ सबु ओडिया जोटी जेते समस्ते अछंती एकाठी हबा तापरे बुझी परबा जे कलिंग प्रकृति रे केते बड़ धन्यवाद
Thank you, madam. Thank you
Namaskar.
for this excellent insightful talk. Rangadhar, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Ma. Because I have also listened to your talks earlier. You have evidence, proof, what we don't have. You see how the people of Kalinga, came abroad this side. Okay, our next person that I'll invite is Dr. Satyabrata Nayak, okay, who's an expatriate here in Malaysia. Can you please, Mr. Satyabrata, please, can you say something? Please unmute yourself, sir.
Dr. Satyabrata, kindly unmute yourself and also switch on your camera. Dr. Satyabrata Naik, are you listening? Maybe.
Okay. Maybe we will see. Okay, I think he's coming in. Okay. Dr. Satyabrata, please. Okay. Namaskar.
Sorry, sir. Namaskar, sir.
Please,
Sir,
please share about your
First
communication.
of all,
with
actually,
Odia.
बहुत धन्यवाद. I don't think like, yeah. First of all, I actually just attended to Ajay. To be very frank, I was not ready to speak anything, but I don't think I am actually capable enough to speak historians, Sunil Bhai and all. I just got connected to this group yesterday, but to be very frank, if I can say, Mr. The Odias in Malaysia, the actual Odias in Malaysia, everywhere you go, I have seen him in the GOPIO last, as Mr. Guna told, last 3 days, he was the only person. He was standing there from morning to evening. Whoever go, and you can see the passion with which he was trying to describe the Odia culture. He had Sambalpuri sari there, he had everything. And even he was actually giving you a hot cup of chai, chaha. So that's how Mr. Rengadhar is. But at the same time, what I will just touch upon is what we are trying. We have a small group called Odia, Malaysia Odia Association. So with the Odia people who are working in Malaysia, so every year we are trying to arrange few festivals. We are celebrating our cultural heritage, Utkal Divas, Raja, then at the same time Ganesh Puja and Deepavali. And we are also coming up with an annual souvenir. It's called Abhipsa. So last 5 years almost. In the meantime, last month we visited our Odia brothers who are staying in Bahau. It's a place almost 2 hours from Kuala Lumpur. And to be so I just want to touch upon something. We have talked to a labor counselor in Malaysia, like presently. So we are going to write a letter to Indian High Commissioner if they can allow us to carry out a physical Odia class every Indian Cultural Center in Kuala Lumpur. We are trying our best. We're trying to find out some of this Okay, again, really great job. But we are trying if we can actually get hold of some volunteers here in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, so that we can have some physical classes in Kuala Lumpur or in Bahau or Pedas, where all our Odia brothers and sisters are there. ମୁଁ ଆଉ ବେଶୀ କିଛି କହିବିନି ବାସ୍ ଏତିକି କି ବହୁତ ବହୁତ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ସୁନୀଲ ଭାଇ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଏହି ଇନିସିଏଟିଭ ପାଇଁ ହୋପଫୁଲି ଆମେ ଆମ ସଂସ୍କୃତିକୁ ଏମିତି ବାହାରେ ପ୍ରସାର କରିପାରିବା। ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ।
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Rengadhar bhai, are you there? Yeah. Rengadhar bhai, kindly unmute yourself.
So thank you very much, Dr. Satyabrata, and with their help and assistance, we have involved more in our education, Odia education. They have assisted us. As I told you, in the 1920s, when the teachers were employed to teach our grandparents, later part, a big gap of 60, 70 years. Then later part, when our expected friends, brothers, sisters from Odia came here to work, we worked with them, and they came and, actually physically teach us the CD Rosto for about 3 to 4 months. And we completed the first Chobi Bohi. And since I have learned in my younger days, the language would become a bit easier, and we start teaching our other people. That was the second batch. And the third one was, we were doing among ourselves, and here comes Amaboni Kamaladas, who came and assisted us. And of course, can you see, success begets success. In this way, now our brothers and sisters, who are working here, we have been working very hard. We have 2-3 occasions we work together. There was one incident we had about a 1-week program at Broga, Lengeng, where we had our Odissi dance, we studied, we had our own cook, and then the culture. So we had about 50 to 60 children. Within 3 days, they learned Odissi dance. You see, so this is the DNA. So Dr. Fatma Shri Ramli Ibrahim, who assisted us at that time. So thank you very much, Dr. Satyabrata. We work together. We have a lot of programs, beforehand. So thank you very much again. So dear friends, this is actually progressive. We are growing, and I had been struggling a lot. I worked in a newspaper in 1970s. I was studying and working, and in the evening I'll work in a newspaper. It is a Tamil newspaper where I speak Bahasa Malaysia with them, and I learned Tamil language from them. And at that time, that is 1974-75, I had this idea: how shall we learn our language through newspaper? That time there's no internet, no handphone, nothing. And I tell you now, it has materialized. You see, it's what the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. This is the motivation that we learn in my university and my lecture sessions, and this is what actually practically happening. So today, it has happened. So next, I go to Pitambro brother. Pitambro brother, you are here?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Pitambro brother, yeah. I would like to invite Pitambro brother, who have spent some time in India, Orissa, and he has really succeeded. He worked in an organization for 30 years as a human resource manager. And I would like to invite Pitambro brother, who came from a different division. There is only 2 parts of in Negeri Sembilan where the Odia people are for 5-6 generations. One is Bahau, the other one is Rambau Pedas, where my mother was born. Okay, and my children, my grandchildren, we are already the 5th, 6th generation. So Pitambro bhai, please share, about your experiences and about our Odia community and the Odia education.
Yeah, developments of Odia school. What I heard from my forefathers, and this says that in the 1900, there was one men, from Puri, Rasa Mishra, who came, to Bahau area, to this plantation sector, okay? And he was instrumental in teaching the Odia language, They were conducting the Odia language in the temples. We were having a Radha Krishna temple, in that plantation sector. That is Batu Bersawa, we say it, Radha Krishna temple. This Radha Krishna temple is an old temple. And when the ISKCON people, Hare Krishna people, when they came, they have declared that this is one of the first, the Radha Krishna temple in the whole of Malaysia. In the whole of Malaysia, rarely you will find a Radha Krishna temple because South Indians are, are dominating in Malaysia. Therefore, the Murugan temple, Kartikasara temple will be there and all, these Patu caves and all. So therefore, you see, this Radha Krishna temple, they were teaching, and then finally they, is it okay to speak in English or should I speak in Odia?
Actually, since today we have a lot many participants from non-Odia speaking community, we should.
Okay. And then this gentleman, Rasa Mastro, he trained our local people, like my uncle, like my parents and all, like they created the teachers. Like we have Rongkia Mastro. One was the Rongkia Mastro. Okay, he's no more. And then we have Sobak Kohoro, was there. And then Govind Chandra Mastro. And then Sri Sankritana Mastro. All these people. And then all these people, they learned the language. Okay, they learned the Odia language, and then they were well versed in that language, because Rasa Master has done a good job, and then he left, So these people continue the activities, the learning the Odia language in this Bahau area, We say just now the friend was telling, like Mr. Satya was telling, Satya Brata was telling that Bahau, he has visited, this is originally my place. So what Mr. Ringoh was telling, that I was in India, in Orissa, in Bhubaneswar. In Bhubaneswar, so I was very much curious to learn the Odia language because we come from a Berhampur area, So we speak Berhampuri language in Malaysia, So it is like Katak and Puri language, you rarely find in Malaysia, But then when I went to Odisha, so my objective was to learn the spoken language. So I was not interested in learning the script of Odisha language, I was not interested because my aim was to gain mastery in the spoken language. Therefore, in this 15-year stay in Odisha, I try to develop my, spoken language, Odia language, how the Kotak and Puri people speaks, But as you know that in India, if you go to Mayurbanj, they speak a different slang. And then Sambalpur, you go, and then Koraput or Ganjam, But then the whole state of Odisha, the common language is you can say the Sahitya Odia is the Odia, or Katak and Puri language, Therefore, that's why, because some friends say that, man, you were in Malaysia, in India for 15 years. How come you didn't learn the script of Odisha script, Odisha language? Because I was very much focusing in picking up the spoken language. And that is my regret. Thank you very much, friends.
Thank you, Pitambar Bhai. For me, you are a boy from Bhubaneswar. Okay, over to you, Rengadhar Bhai.
Yeah, thank you, brother. We worked very hard, after he came back from India.
By the way, Rengadhar Bhai, there is one point I just want to make. As per Dr. Vishwabharati, the Malaysian Odia people still retain some of the very pure Odia terms, which are no more used in Odisha nowadays, but you people are still using those languages. Vishwabharati Madam's observation is that regarding, all the interactions we had in Kalinga history, she has noticed this thing. So this is a good thing about Odia spoken in Malaysia. So don't feel that you are lagging in anything behind. Rather, there are a few things that we should look forward to learn from you. Okay, over to you, Ringoh Bhai.
Thank you very much. So as Pitambar Bhai, was in India, we used to communicate with him, and I too have traveled a few times, and that's how we improve our language. As I earlier told that, sometime the Odia language will become a fifth language to us. When they go to Chinese school, they have to learn Chinese, they have to learn English, Bahasa Malaysia, then they learn Tamil, and they learn other language, then become fifth language, Odia language. But in spite of that, when we meet for our holy festivals, for Deepavali, get together, that's how, we get the warmness of our language, and we are still in intact. And one of the reasons why, because when we were kids, our children, our stories, Surya Purana. My mother will chant the Surya Purana, and every day, when she goes out to town or what, she will take one tulsi, put in the mouth, another tulsi she will tie on her gown, and we practice that. When we go out, my mother will tell that you better take that, and I didn't get my COVID, because I practiced that. So anyway, we move to the next one. The other friend from Heritage Malaysia is still not here yet. We'll move to another sister of mine. She's Padmoshini. Are you there, ma? Okay, Padmoshini is here. She is a transition of a plantation life to the urban life. You see, and when she was a kid, we decided to bring her to the town, and she lived in the urbanization life, but she used to go there and learn one or two things over there. So I would like to invite my first cousin, my Mausi Rojo, Padmoshini. Ama, share kare.
Good evening to everyone. Basically, like Mr. Rungabhai said, I was actually born in the plantation, but never lived at the plantation. I was 6 months old when my eldest sister got married, and she brought me out from the plantation to Seremban, where it's in Negeri Sembilan. Whereby those days plantation was totally different from nowadays plantation. There were various type of races in the plantation. I used to go during my school holidays. So that's how I got to know there are Tamil, Malayalis, Telugus, and everything. During my school days, I studied in a convent school in Seremban town. And during the holidays is the time that I used to go to Bahau for a week for a holiday. And another week I will go to Pedas, which Mr. Rengobhai was saying. Okay, that's where we learn all the cultural things and how we adopt to the situation where we bring up the religious way, temples and things like that. So whereby in Pedas, I think Mr. Ringoh can say Mr. Chakropani, he's also our relation. He was teaching a bit of Orissa. He was our master. And that's where I picked up Orissa when I was about 9 years old, 10 years old, where Ringoh used to teach me and he will tell, no, this is not the right writings. He will say, no, you have to do this. So that's how I picked up Orissa when I was a big kid. And gradually the language, like nobody picked up and I lost in touch. So I'm very grateful to Ringoh for this opportunity to give us a great opportunity for us to learn back our language so we can keep our heritage back again in our own community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Padmoshini Madam. Thank you for your beautiful observations. Rengadhar Bhai, we have one distinguished singer from Orissa. She is Madam Sushmita Das. At the moment she is traveling. I don't know whether she would be able to join us. Sushmita Madam, can you please unmute yourself and say a few words?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening,
Namaskar.
ma'am. Good evening.
Namaskar. Namastanko. Mate आज एक्चुअली मु टिके ट्रैवल करछि बोली सेत पे आपन को ठीक रे जॉइन करि परनी मु कहितिले मिस्टर विश्वाल मते कहितिले सखाळे सो आई एम रियली हैप्पी टू सी यू ऑल एंड सो खुशी लागु छी जे आपन ओडिया पई आपन लागि छंती समस्त ओडिया लैंग्वेज को बंचेवा पई व्हिच इज आवर मदर टंग सेटा दैट्स व्हाई आई एम वेरी हैप्पी बट समस्त को माने बहुत बहुत भल लागुचे बहुत दिन माने मु तो काहा को जानी नी बट जस्ट गोटे परिचय हैला अपन संगे रे So more since 2006, I am working on, my music is based on literature, folk, tribals, ମାନେ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଅଛି କଲଚର ତାରି ଉପରେ ମୁଁ ବେଶୀ କାମ କରେ। ତ ଲାଗିଛି, ଦେଖାଯାଉ, ଆପଣ ମାନେ ବି କିଛି ଜଣ ଶୁଣିଥିବେ ମୋ ଗୀତ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ, ତେଣୁ ଭାବୁଛି ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ। These are all typical Odia culture. I am just working on all these things. So my request will be, please listen to my music, and whatever queries you have, you can ask me.
Thank you. Of course, we will get to know better. I mean, in future programs, whenever we do with our Malaysian brothers and sisters, so definitely, I would definitely send the link to you. So since you're traveling, I would not make any further request, because as per our original discussion, I was to request you to sing one or two popular Odia classical, I mean, folk songs, which is not possible at the moment. I can see that you're traveling. So
That's, I can sing just like that, no problem. ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ଏବେ ଜଷ୍ଟ ମୁଁ କରିଥିଲି ଘୁମୁରା, ଆମର ଯୋଉ କଳାହାଣ୍ଡିର ଘୁମୁରା ଅଛି ଜାଣିଥିବେ, folk, ତାର ଯୋଉ ଗୀତଟି ମୁଁ ତିଆରି କରିଛି ସେଇଟା ହଉଛି 100 years back ର ଲିଟରେଚର, ମାନେ ତାର ଲିରିକ୍ସ ଟା ହଉଛି 100 years ପୁରୁଣା, ତା ସ୍ୱର ମଧ୍ୟ 100 years ପୁରୁଣା। ସେଇଟାକୁ ମେନ୍ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରିମ୍ କୁ ଆଣିବାକୁ ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରଚେଷ୍ଟା ଚାଲିଛି ଏବେ। କିଛି ଗୁଡାକ ଟ୍ରାଇବାଲ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଫୋକ୍ ର ମୁଁ କରୁଛି, ଯୋଉଟା which I got the national award for all these things. So 2 lines I can sing, just empty dhad re sunantu, but I will request everybody to listen from the YouTube, it is there. साहेबनी लाइबनी आमर धनी, साहेबनी लाइबनी आमर धनी, साहेबनी लाइबनी, कुमड़ा फुले कुंदुर ननी, कुमड़ा फुले कुंदुर ननी, लंकारे ननी, साहेबनी लाइबनी आमर धनी, साहेबनी लाइबनी आमर धनी, साहेबनी लाइबनी।
excellent. Thank you. Sushmita madam, there is one thing that I would like to bring to your notice. Our Malaysian brothers and sisters, they in fact even now also they sing certain songs that have just vanished from our Odisha.
Yes, that's why my effort, ମୋର ଯୋଉ effort ଟା ଏବେ ଚାଲିଛି ସେଇଆ, ଯୋଉଗୁଡା vanish form ଅଛି, କାରଣ ଆମର ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ ଇନଷ୍ଟ୍ରୁମେଣ୍ଟ ବି vanish ହେଇଗଲାଣି, ମୋ folk form ବି vanish ହେଇଗଲାଣି। ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ ଯାଇକି କିଛି, କାରଣ ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ଟିମ୍ ଅଛି ଯୋଉମାନେ ଡକୁମେଣ୍ଟାରୀ କରନ୍ତି, ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେମାନେ ପାଖକୁ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ଦେନ୍ ମାନେ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ କିଛି ନାହିଁ, ଆଉ ଯୋଉମାନେ ବହୁତ ବୁଢା ବୁଢା ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେଇମାନେ ଟିକେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି, ନହେଲେ ଆଉ ଅଲଗା ସମସ୍ତେ ଖାଲି ପ୍ରେୟାର ଭରିକା ଗାଉଛନ୍ତି। ଏ ଯୋଉ କନଭର୍ଟ ହେଇଗଲେ ତା ପାଇଁ ତ ବହୁତ there is a lot of changes ଆସିଯାଇଛି।
Actually, their forefathers went from India in 1905.
Yes.
So for them, the time has kind of freezed for that particular generation. So whatever they carried with them, whatever heritage they carried with them, our present generation Malaysia Odias are retaining those things, and they are still practicing those things. So definitely in future you will find many things of interest to you.
Yes,
especially regarding folk songs. So with this, I would request Rengadhar bhai to take over. Rengadhar.
Sunil bhai.
Yeah,
Sunil,
please.
जो मैडम जो गीत गाइले, that is what, कलाहांडी song from कलाहांडी,
सेटा होची घुमुरा, कलाहांडी रो जो घुमुरा हमर।
अच्छा, thank you
घुमुरा रो एटा। Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma, Sushmita Das. All these encouragements, and I too remember when I was a kid that my mother would also sing few songs, and one of that is very systematic way, like alphabetical order, and that's the reason we have very speciality, you know. The song goes, it is a, I don't know whether chant song or what. Kamala Lachana Sri Hari, Kamala Lachana Sri Hari, Korena Sanko Chakradhari, Khagavasane Khagapati, Ghatanti Lakshmi Saraswati. Just imagine 60 years ago. After that, there is no communication, nothing. We left the plantation. You know, I went to the east of Malaysia. My children went to Chinese school. But just imagine the foundation is like carving, in the brain at that young age, whatever they have taught. So I also agree that we didn't have that mix. The original of our grandparents, earlier I said when my grandfather came, there was no plantation. They played the jungle, every evening they would sing song, they would do drama, they will do Savitri Satyavan drama, and all this, the only thing we didn't have a record. But I think few of them, maybe Pitambro Bhai remember, I too remember, the song, some of it are still there. I have also some of the records. Anyway, we will share, after today's class, we will share singing modern song, Hindi songs. I had the interest. I will go with my father walking distance, we have the theater, to see movies like Dosti, Sangam, these old songs. So on the way back, we will be walking, it's about half an hour to 45 minutes.
You're not audible, Ringoh bhai.
Ringoh has some network issues, I believe. Rengadhar bhai, your connection is unstable.
And then now.
Kamalakumari madam, I will unmute karo.
Okay. Is it okay?
Yeah, now yeah, please speak something. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, he got disconnected actually. When he started, also his connection was. Pitambar bhai, Malaysia re 5G network available na?
What is that?
Yeah.
Mobile re 5G network available?
Yeah, Wi-Fi is there definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Mine is also optic. It's a line. Okay, so is it okay now? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how we are like we assimilate songs, dance are part and parcel of our life. So the next part I would like to invite is Mr. Punchanano. Mr. Punchanano, are you here? Punchanano Sahu?
Yes.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Punchanano Sahu is my nephew. His father is my cousin brother. And his father has acted in the Satyavan Savitri. He is 94. Is it 94, 95?
95.
Should be 90 plus now. He's my cousin. 95. He's my cousin brother. He has shared a lot of the stories with my sister, and he has also acted in Satyavan Savitri. A day, of course, definitely I visited him, and the Museum of Malaysia visited him, recorded some of his talk. He was a Bahasa Malaysia educated man, local language. And now up to you, Panchanana Sahu, who has also been to Odisha a few times. Please share your experience.
Namaskar. Pranam Namastaku. I'd like to talk a bit, share my experience. I was brought up in a plantation, rubber plantation. It's a very big plantations, belong to the British those days. And I was born in that plantation with 100% Odias. So that's why I can't speak in Tamil, very less. So the whole family, my family, all are Odia speaking. All speak Odia. They can't speak Tamil also. Okay, but Malaysia, Bahasa Malaysia. So I was very, very interested to learn during my child age. I was I go to English school. I was go to English school, and then after evening, every evening there's a class.
Bhai, completed
Ah.
Bhakya.
Oh,
Oh,
congratulations, congratulations.
he is very much interested in
Beautiful.
learning Odia. Panchanan Bhai and Rengadhar Bhai
Okay.
both are completed all the letters.
And all credit should go to Kamalakumari madam.
No credit, no credit. The credit goes to them.
So
And Pitambar Bhai,
yeah, for
who is waiting for my arrival at Malaysia. He is interested to learn Odia from me directly. He is not interested in online class.
okay, thank you very much for everybody, especially Madam Kamala, because I'm really now is very what do you call eager to learn more. So I look for my old books. You know, I found out I got a dictionary also, Odia English dictionary, the big one, very thick. So I got it back, and then some books also I got it back. Then I'm going through. Then now I can read and can write also Odia language. So I can you know, sometimes I see movies, maybe other things. All I can read also the words. So I was very interested, very thank you very much for everybody who created this platform so that we can contribute to our society, Odia people in Malaysia to come to learn the language. We preserve our own mother tongue, you know, we learn together. So I hope everybody in Malaysia, we try to bring them, okay? So this is what I was interested, and thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Rengadhar, who create this platform, and then the others are from India, from Odisha, and GOPIO, everybody. Thank you very much. Give me a chance to speak on this platform. Thank you.
सुनील भाई एते शीघ्र संभव पंचानन भाईंकर बापांकर गोटे आलोचना करबा
Panchanan bhai, can we have your father also address, I mean, share his experiences, whatever he remembers. Can we arrange one talk with him?
Can.
So when can we do that? I wish today itself, but then already it will be too late. Maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or anytime that you can make it convenient for him to join.
Okay.
It can be a limited participant.
जेते लोक अछंती तांको जेनरेशन रे जेते लोक अछंती सेमानक सहित आमे गोटे दिन आलोचना करबा
आज्ञा
दि दिन हो 5 दिन लागू किंतु सेही जनरेशन लोक मानकटू आमे सुनिबा
आज्ञा they would be having presence of information, like Madam said, she's quite eager. In fact, now
से सब जिते शीघ्र डॉक्यूमेंटेड हबा दरकार
ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କଥା ହଉଛି ମୁଁ ଆମ ବାପା ଘର ନାହିଁ ମୋର ଦୂର ଜାଗା ଟିକେ ଅଛି ଲାଗିବ ମୋ ବାପା ଘରକୁ ମୋ ଘରକୁ 3-4 ଘଣ୍ଟା ଲାଗିବ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଦୁଃଖ ନାହିଁ ଆମେ ଆରେଞ୍ଜ କରିବା ଆରେଞ୍ଜ କରିକି ମୁଁ ଯିବି ବାପା ଘରକୁ ଆଜି 3 ଦିନ ରହି ତାପରେ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରିବା ଆମେ
the sooner the better.
Okay.
पद्मश्री मैडम को सहित जेतेबेले लास्ट टाइम कथा हेतली मते लागले जेमती मु मोर गंजाम रे थिबा पीसी जियो भौणी माउसी जियो भौणी एमन को सहित कथा होची ताको कथा म आउतरे सुनिबा को चाहिबी ओडिया रे समस्त
हम किसी कहंतु ओडिया रे
नमस्ते
अनम्यूट करंतु हां पद्मश्री मैडम अनम्यूट करंतु
नमस्कार याडा ओडिया भाषा टिके भिन्न मुस्रा का होचिंती केते हले हम ओडिया भाषा याडा छाड़ीबो नै हमर मदर टंग लैंग्वेज आज तक हम घरे मदर टंग लैंग्वेज ओडिसा रा का कथा होछ
बहुत बढ़िया बहुत बढ़िया
सॉरी विशाल भाई
आज्ञा
सॉरी सॉरी सत्य कहूली जस्ट गोटे सजेशन थिला भाई कि माने मु तो फर्स्ट टाइम जॉइन कली आज देखो आपण माने विश्वभारती मैडम अछंती अन्य बहुत लोक अच्छे जो सो मच इंटरेस्टेड इन ए हिस्ट्री पाई आमे कले केमती होंता कि आपण माने गोटे प्लान करंतु मलेशिया विजिट पाई आमे तो इटी अच्छु हम घर भी अछि आपण माने हम घर रहिबे हम
भाई
घर रहिबे
मोर
तापरे आमे
प्लान ऑलरेडी हेइछि परा
आज्ञा मैडम आपण आछे मु जानिछि आज्ञा मु जानिछि मु कहूछि एकाथे विश्वभारती मैडम
आउर
विश्वाल
बढ़िया
भाई
कथा
आउ दी तीन जण मिसिकी दी एकाथे आमे
आमे
एठी
विश्वभारती
एक्चुअली भाई
मैडम
कोन हेतिला
कथा हेतिलु जिबा पई
एठी आउ जणे ओडिया थिले जणे आईआरएस होची आईएफएस पूर्वरु से ट्राई करथिले गोटे एमानकु नेइकिरी गोटे करिवा पई डॉक्यूमेंटरी बट ड्यू टू समथिंग मुटा परे कहबी सेटा हेइ पारलानी बट आपण माने जदी सत्तरे भाई जदी प्लान करनते गोटे वीक रो प्लान नेइकी आसंतु आउ एठी रहिबा किछि प्रॉब्लम नै आमे सब
माने मु तो 1 मंथ प्लान नै की जिबा को
अच्छा
भाबी 1 वीक
आउरी
नुहे
बढ़िया मैडम
1 वीक तो मते लागुची कम हे जो मते पुओ कहूची 1 वीक और 2 वीक्स से मु राजी होनी मु
आज्ञा
1 मंथ मिनिमम प्लान नै की जिबी
बहुत बढ़िया हुआ मैडम नहीं विशाल भाई एबे तो सीधा डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट चलची फ्रॉम भुवनेश्वर टू केएल हां और पासपोर्ट
it would happen very soon.
हाँ वीजा भी दरकार नहीं प्लीज भाई कहबे एंड आमे एठी जति ओडिया अछु माने सॉरी मलेशिया जो माने ओडिया जो माने काम करछन विल ट्राई आवर बेस्ट कि आमे एटा को गोटे सक्सेस ये करबा जेमति विश्वभारती मैडम जस्ट कहले कि आमे ई जिंसोडा को लेट्स ट्राई टू एटलीस्ट कैटलॉग दिस थिंग्स कि कोन माने से माने क्योंकि एमती बहुत इंफॉर्मेशन पड़ेगो माने
सत्य कथा हां ए लोक मानक से
Actually-
जनरेशन परे सही इंफॉर्मेशन काटू कलेक्ट करि परिबानी
I mean, every now and then Vishwabharati madam keeps calling me and reminding me that not to miss a chance to get our Malaysian senior people to record their whatever they have remembered, everything.
In fact, by next month, next month, High Commissioner, Indian High Commissioner, language conference, Odia language ta ko kodauchanti. Teno ame we are calling, we will be calling Dr. Ringoh janichanti. But this is again, upon jemti kale ki all these things are very superficial type of things. To be very frank, jodi apon mane etiki asi paribe, we directly hear everything from the horse's mouth. Tahale ame we jani pariba ki actual history ta kona. Please,
निश्चय ame jibu.
Agya, please. And we will love to host you all. Upon mane please asantu.
We also enjoy. We also enjoy. We also enjoy.
Now
कलिंग इतिहास तरफरु गोष्ठी तरफरु गोटे प्रत्येक वर्ष एमती हमर वॉयज करे जाऊ प्लान करे जाऊ जोतरे केवल माने जो माने भी एंथुसियास्ट जत्ते लोक चाहिबे समस्त माने केवल मलेशिया नै मलेशिया रो हमें संग होई के अन्य सेठु अन्य एमती के माने जो ग्रेटर नेटवर्क ता माने जाई छी हमें माने समस्त डिस्कनेक्टेड हे जाई छे पुणी उतरे समस्त एकाठी होंदे
बहुत खुशी लाग आपण को देखि कि एठी एते खुशी लागु जे आउ मते पितामर भाई तो तांको घर को पूरा इनवाइट भी करछथि आपण आसिले आम घरे रहि तेनो
मैडम आम गोटा पूरा केएल सेंटर जगह रे तेनो आम घरे प्रथम रहि कि तापे सुवाडे जिबा आछिया
समस्त को तो देखा
Now we'll also listen to some of our non-Odia friends, well-wishers who are already present with us.
Yeah.
So let us also listen to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I invite Brother Sivapalan Salvadore? We are very sorry that in a little moment we went to Odia language. So far what you have heard, brother. Am I meeting you first time, brother?
Yeah. First time. Yeah.
Sivapalan?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Did you visit the exhibition?
I did visit.
Did you visit the exhibition?
Yeah, but I didn't. I was just passing through. I didn't really stop because we were rushing.
Oh, it's okay.
But now.
Yeah, please share about today's experience.
It's in fact I'm very fascinated with the Orissa community. I've heard a lot about Orissa community in terms of their influence in terms of history as well as the famous Orissa dance that we see through our Ramli Ibrahim. So that's my encounter with the Orissa community. But right now I'm working on a history project, so that's why I'm curious to know about
Wonderful.
अरे
the
झियो
link,
पैंट खिचड़ी कर दियो
the link between Kalinga and the Malaysia.
रुटी अच्छी
So that's my interest. Maybe you can put me through to people who have written works on this area. So I'm interested in that area. Maybe you can help me in this. I hope to get to know you better. Maybe give your contacts so I can meet up.
Which part of KL you stay, brother?
I'm staying in Kajang.
Oh, okay. Not very far, nearby. Anyway, maybe I give you my number now, stay 017.
Hold on. Okay, sure.
017 360
017 360
1744.
1744. All right, great.
Okay. So you can call me Ringoh. Ringoh is my nickname.
Okay.
In my Odia name is Rengadhar.
Oh, Rengadhar.
Okay. So when I was singing Natyam, they changed my name to Ringoh.
So
Okay.
where are you staying, Dr.
I'm
Rengadhar?
at Sramban, Sri Sandayan.
Oh, Sri Sandayan. Okay.
Yeah. So
Rengadhar bhai,
definitely I call you.
Rengadhar
Please call
bhai,
me. Then we'll come back.
Sure.
Rengadhar bhai, I would be sending you one YouTube clip of one particular program about the maritime link between Cholas and the Kalingas. Okay, so kindly pass it
wonderful.
on to Mr. Salvadurai. Okay.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Brother, I also have heard a story from my mother.
Yeah.
I'd like to share a little bit here. That it seems, I have not seen any written that the Kalinga, the Chola and the Kalinga, they used to have conflict very often. And during their conflict, of course, those days they use physical. You kill my cow, I kill your horse. You kill me, I kill you. Then later part, what has happened is due to tax, because they were claiming tax and the Kalinga people were refusing. And then later part, it seems their children got married and they became relatives. You see, this Chola and the Kalingas. So going back to my own history, two of my son married Tamil, and they are both are sisters. And my mother told me, at least one married Tamil, one married Odia. So I told Mom, you are the one who told the story that the Chola and the Kalingas. You see, so now many people didn't know about the Odia people who are originally Kalingas. So that is what the 4 days I was explaining to all our Tamil friends about this. They thought the Odia people are different people, the Kalingas are different people. So after showing the historical thing about what has happened, there was a beautiful history written in 1999, about how 7,000 years ago, the historical, in a chronological order, because I did my history on chronological order, that 5,000, 1,007, how it started, and it was so much interesting to see how the South and the Kalinga and here in Malaysia, because 99% are South Indian, we have assimilated, we have assimilated each other, interchange marriage, and some of them has become principal of the school. Some of the Odias who went to Tamil school and become Guru Basa. I mean, principal of the school, and I have one distant grandson who got Cemerlang tertinggi in Tamil language and language and literature. Just imagine, and Anwar Ibn Galan him, Golden Galan, and he went to France. So can you see how the assimilation taken place, and the Orissa people can apprehend, the Orissa people can get along. So this is what actually we are in Malaysia. You see, so GOPIO is working for that. We want all the Indians to be united, to work together. Okay, and coming back to our own language and history, as you can see the progressive that taken place 100 years ago, as the teachers came from Odisha, they taught us, and the Odia language school that they studied in Temple has become official Tamil schools in the plantation by the government. I think you know, sir, how they in the plantation, all the Indians have to go to Tamil school. Of course, they have given the POL, but Orissa was not given because the teachers left, and that's how we involved in Tamil school. Even my wife is a Tamil educated. She went to Tamil school. See, and me, I went to.
Just now you said most of them are situated in Bahau and
Negeri Sembilan. Negeri Sembilan.
Rambau. Rambau.
Negeri Sembilan, Rambau, and Bahau. See,
I'm from Tampin actually. I'm from
wonderful,
Tampin.
sir. I see.
But right now I'm
TBS.
residing in
Yeah,
TBS.
at one time TBS was very famous on the hockey export.
Yeah, for hockey.
So anyway, I want to add one more additional point here that carry on.
There are many dots waiting to be connected as far as Orissa, Kalinga and Tamil people are concerned. Like you might be knowing when when Bodhisattva came out of his penance, I mean the sadhana, the first people who met him were merchants from Kalinga. And how did they treat Buddha? They fed him with arisa pitha. Arisa pitha. It's a local dish of local preparation of Orissa. Now, what is arisa pitha in Orissa? In Tamil, they say rice as arisa. The Tamil name for rice is RC.
Yeah.
And the pitha that we make in Odisha is called arisa pitha.
Pitha means in palagaram. Pitha means.
But then arisa pitha is a pitha in Odisha. It's kind of a cake, pancake kind of thing. Okay, and that is the dish they offered Buddha when they met him for the first time. Okay, it is kind of recorded history. Now in Tamil Nadu, fine clothes, silk clothes, they call Kalinga. Is it true, sir? Hello, am I audible?
I think it disconnected due to some network problem.
Anyway, Shini, you know arisa pitha?
Yes, of course I do. That's my favorite.
Make sure you make that.
My mother used to make that. She was good in Odia sweets and things like that.
We will make for Kamala madam.
I can only do Guinta Pita. That's the only thing I know. Sevta, that's the only language. That's the only dish I learned how to do well. She used to do very good sweets, Odisha sweets. I like bora. That bora is also very good. I'm good at that. Bora biscuit, bora, arisa pita, guinta pita. Those are the little things that we can do, but nothing like the people from Orissa.
No, bora is vada, you know. Bora
We
is
made
actually
many
vada.
sweets also. Sweets like Khir Sagar. In that
Pita, my mother is very good in pita. The normal pita, the arisa pita, yes. My arisa pita is my favorite. I just love that.
ଆପଣ ମାନେ କାଞ୍ଜି କରୁଛନ୍ତି କି ନାହିଁ?
କାଞ୍ଜି କରୁଛ? ସେଟା କୋନ କାଞ୍ଜି କରି
ବେଳେ ପଖାଳ ଭାତ ବି ଖାଆନ୍ତି, ପଖାଳ ଭାତ ବି ହେଉଛି।
ବଢିଆ।
You know when we will take pokhalo when we are sick.
When we are not well.
With sukwa besaro or baigana bhaja.
Rengadhar, there is one
story. I'd like to continue. Carry on, sir.
There is one Mr. Rajat who has not yet spoken. I believe he
Yeah.
is from Malaysia. So let us listen
Yeah.
also to him.
Okay. Okay. Rajat, I think Rajat is here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Namaskar
Rajat,
ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ।
please share. Namaskar.
ଆଜ୍ଞା,
On
ନମସ୍କାର।
karo tomro video ta.
ସାର୍ ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଅନ୍ଧାର ଅଛି ଏବେ ମୁଁ ବାହାରେ ଅଛି ତ ସେଠୁ ମତେ ଜଣା ପଡିବନି ଇଭେନ୍ ମତେ ଲାଗିବ ଭୂତ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ସମସ୍ତେ।
Purane ko.
Anyway, yeah, coming to the point, I mean, बहुत ଭଲ ଲାଗିଲା ଏଠି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ସାথେ ଦେଖା ହେଲା ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଶୁଣିକି ଏମିତି ଲାଗୁଛି କି ଯେମିତି ମୁଁ ଓଡିଶାରେ ଅଛି ଏବେ and I'm hearing some of the very old stories ଆଉ ଯେହେତୁ କି ମୁଁ ମାନେ ଛୁଆବେଳୁ ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ବାହାରେ ରହିଛି even I'm from ମୟୂରଭଞ୍ଜ and basically from Khichi ଏବେ ମୁଁ ମଲେସିଆରେ ଅଛି almost like 10 years ହେଇଗଲାଣି ଏଠି ବାହାରେ ରହିକି ୟାର ମୁଁ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆରେ ଥିଲି ଏଠି ଆସିବା ପରେ yes we have a very good community like you know as Satyabrata bhai said that you know we have a very good community here almost like you know 150 140 you know, families are here from Odisha and ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଏଠି ବହୁତ ମାନେ ଇଭେଣ୍ଟ ଗୁଡା ହଉଛି ଏଠି ସବୁବେଳେ ମିଳାମିଶି ହଉଛି and even ସମସ୍ତେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ମିଶୁଛୁ it's like you know ଜଣା ପଡୁଛି କି ଆମର ଓଡିଆ ଭାଇ ମାନେ କେମିତି କଣ କୋଉଠି ରହି କେମିତି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଦେଶରେ ବି ଦେଶ ବାହାରେ ବି ଆଉ ଆମେ ଚେଷ୍ଟା ବି କରୁ ଯେତେ ହେଇପାରେ ଆମର କମ୍ୟୁନିଟିକୁ ଏମିତି ଏକ୍ସଟେଣ୍ଡ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଆଉ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ହିଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ଅଛି ତାକୁ କେମିତି ଆମେ ଆମ ଛୁଆ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଜଣେଇବୁ ସେଇଟା ହେଲା ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ଜିନିଷ ମାନେ ଆମର ଏବେ ଏଜ୍ ସେଇ ଷ୍ଟେଜ କୁ ଆସିଗଲାଣି ଯୋଉଠିକି ଆମେ ଆମର କୁହା ହୁଏ now the responsibility have to be taken care of and we have to pass the you know legacy to our kids and they will know the things so yes ସେଇ ଜିନିଷଟା ବି ହଉଛି ଆଉ ଏମିତି ଯୋଉ ଇଭେଣ୍ଟ ଗୁଡା ହୁଏ ଏମିତି ଯୋଉ ମିଟିଂସ୍ ଗୁଡା ହୁଏ ଏଇ ଯେମିତି ଚ୍ୟାପ୍ଟର ଗୁଡା ହୁଏ ଏଥିରେ ଆସିଲା ପରେ ଏଇଟା ମାନେ ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ଶିଖିବାକୁ ମିଳେ ବହୁତ କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଏଠି ଆଉ ଆଜି ବି ମୁଁ ବହୁତ କିଛି ଶିଖିକି ଯାଉଛି ଏଠୁ even I'll continue this one ବହୁତ ବଡ ବଡ ମାନେ ଜାନକାର ଲୋକମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଯୋଉମାନେ ଶିକ୍ଷା ଦଉଛନ୍ତି and they want to keep our culture alive thank you very much to doing all these things and yeah we look forward to support and wherever we can do the best we can yeah thanks
Thank you.
Sorry Vishal bhai if I can just add Rajat is a passionate cricketer ଆଉ ସିଏ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲବ କରିଛି ଯୋଉଟା ନାଁ ହଉଛି କଳିଙ୍ଗ ଉତ୍କଳ କ୍ରିକେଟ କ୍ଲବ
ଉତ୍କଳ କ୍ରିକେଟ କ୍ଲବ
ଉତ୍କଳ କ୍ରିକେଟ କ୍ଲବ
beautiful ଏଟା ସବୁ ଶୁଣିଲେ ବହୁତ ଖୁସି ଲାଗୁଛି
ଆଜ୍ଞା
This is about more than 10 years my son went to Cambodia and he bought this somebody I don't know how instinct it worked he you know he bought it and this is the one is it Angkor Wat
Yes.
can somebody share something about Angkor Wat
Vishwabharat madam would be telling some interesting thing about Angkor Wat temple.
Please.
Actually,
how it's connected to Kalinga?
Actually, 2000 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବେ ଆମର କଳିଙ୍ଗର ଜଣେ ସାଧବ ଜଣେ ମର୍ଚେଣ୍ଟ ଯିଏ ଯାଇଥିଲେ actually ସେ ଅନ୍ୟ କୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିକୁ ଯାଉଥିଲେ କିନ୍ତୁ କାମ୍ବୋଡିଆ ପାଖାପାଖି ତାଙ୍କର ଜାହାଜକୁ ତାଙ୍କର ବୋଇତକୁ ଇଏ ମାନେ ଆମର ଜଳଦସ୍ୟୁ ମାନେ ପାଇରେଟ୍ସ ମାନେ ଆକ୍ରମଣ କଲେ ଆଉ ଏମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କରିକି ତାଙ୍କୁ ହରେଇ ଦେଲେ କିନ୍ତୁ ତାଙ୍କ ଜାହାଜଟା ସେଥିରେ ଆଫେକ୍ଟେଡ ହେଇଗଲା ମାନେ ଭାଙ୍ଗି ଗଲା କେତେ ଜାଗାରେ ତ ସେଇଟାକୁ ରିପେୟାର କରିବା ଦରକାର ପଡିଲା ତ ସେଇଟା କୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ମାସ୍ କୁ ଗଲେ ସେଇଠି ରିପେୟାର ହେଇପାରିବ ତ ତେଣୁ ସେମାନେ ନିୟରେଷ୍ଟ ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ମାସ୍ କାମ୍ବୋଡିଆକୁ ସେ ତାଙ୍କର ଇଏଟାକୁ ଜାହାଜଟାକୁ ନେଇଗଲେ ସେଠିକୁ ତ ସେଠି ନାଗ କମ୍ୟୁନିଟିର ଟ୍ରାଇବର ଲୋକମାନେ ରହୁଥିଲେ ତାଙ୍କର ସେଇ ସମୟରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଯିଏ ରାଜକୁମାରୀ ସୋମା ତାଙ୍କ ନାଁ ସିଏ ଆସିକି ଦେଖିଲେ ଯେ ମାନେ ସେ ଭାବିଲେ କୌଣସି ଶତ୍ରୁ ଆକ୍ରମଣ କରିବାକୁ ଆସିଛନ୍ତି ବୋଲି ସେ ଆସିଲେ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସିଏ ହଉଛନ୍ତି କୌଣ୍ଡିନ୍ୟ ଆମର ଓଡିଶାର ଚିଲିକା ର ପାଖାପାଖି ଅଞ୍ଚଳରୁ ସେ ଯାଇଥିଲେ ସେଠିକୁ ତେଣୁ ସେ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କଲେ ସେ ସୋମା ବୋଲି ଯୋଉ ନାଗ କମ୍ୟୁନିଟିର ରାଜକୁମାରୀ କୌଣ୍ଡିନ୍ୟଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କଲେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଉଭୟ ସେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧରେ ମାନେ ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ କେତେ ମାନେ ମଜାଦାର କଥା ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଯୁଦ୍ଧରେ ପରସ୍ପରକୁ ଭଲ ପାଇଲେ ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ଯୁଦ୍ଧର ସ୍କିଲ୍ ଆଉ ତାଙ୍କର ସୌନ୍ଦର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଆଉ ପରସ୍ପରର पर्सनालिटी सेमानकु एते भल लागले जे से युद्ध भूमि रे सेमाने परस्परकु बाहा हवा पे ठीक कले एवं सेमाने बाहाले आउ सेठी दी जन जाक मिसी की प्रथमे फुनान साम्राज्य तयारी करले फुनान डायनेस्टी हमर ओडिया लोक कौंडिन्य सी जाकी प्रथमे सेठी तयारी करथिले तेनु माने कंबोडिया बोली जो देश सेटाकू सारा पृथ्वी जानिले केवल हमर ओडिया लोकंक द्वारा आउ कौंडिन्य ओडिसा रु बहुत लोकंकु नेकी से समय सब लोकंकु नेकी सेठी से माने रास्ता घाट घर द्वार सब तयारी करथिले आउ एठिकार मर्चेंट मानकु सेठी जाकी रहिकरी काम करिवार सुजोग देथिले तेनु से समय रे सेटा आउ गोटे सेकेंड कलिंग भलिया देखा जाउतला से जगह आउ माने एते मात्रा रे कलिंगर लोक माने सेठी रहुथिले तो तांकर 500 वर्ष परे हमर पुपुणी आउते कहै आइदर से माने सेही कौंडिन्यंकर वंशधर माने बा पुणी थरे आउथरे कलिंगरु जाइथिले आउ कौंडिन्यंक वंशधर माने जो माने कि सेठी अंकरवाट मंदिर तयारी करथिले सेते बेले से जगार ना थिला जसोधारापुर माने से माने जेहेतु हमर ओडिया लोक जाइथिले तेनु सेठिकार जगह गुडाकर नामकरण सब ओडिया ना थिला
दिवाकर पंडित जने के थिले ना मैडम
आगे
दिवाकर पंडित बोधे आर्किटेक्ट थिले तार
सेटा मु जानि नै एक्जेक्टली किंतु माने जेहेतु सेठिकार गोटे लाइब्रेरी थिला अंकरवाट मंदिर कैंपस भितरे गोटे लाइब्रेरी थिला जोठी कि अंकरवाट मंदिर केमिति तयारी हितला किए तयारी करथिले सब सारे सब इंफॉर्मेशन थिला जोटा को कि परवर्ती काल रे निया लगे कि जाଳି दिया गला जेमति हमर तक्षशिला हो ए सब विषय केवल चाइना रो केतेक ट्रैवलर मानकर नोट रो जेमति कि हमर हुएनसांग हमर फाइयान जेमति भारत आस्थिले से माने सेमति चाइनीज ट्रैवलर मानक नोट रो जणा पडुची जे हमर ओडिसा रो लोक जाई सेठी तयारी करथिले सेटा बोली कौंडिन्य तो आमे मोर लेखाटा थिला जे कोलंबस चर्चित कौंडिन्य विस्मृत सेटा जे माने कोलंबस गोटे देश आविष्कार करले सेति पई सारा पृथ्वी तांको मने रखिला आ कोलंबस द ग्रेट कहले किंतु से केते लोकन को सेठी मारी चंती 70 लाख लोकन को मारी चंती माने अमेरिका तयारी करिया पई बोली किंतु हमर भारतीय माने कलिंगर जो माने जाय कि सब विभिन्न साउथ ईस्ट एशियन कंट्री आविष्कार करचंती आ सेठी साम्राज्य करचंती माने बसति स्थापन करचंती समस्त नॉन वायलेंटली करचंती सेठिकार स्थानीय लोक मान सहित मिसिकरी फ्रेंडली बिहेवियर से मान सहित बाहा है कि तांको सहित एकाठी मिसिकी रही कि सेठी से माने बसति स्थापन करचंती तो सेमान को ना सब लुचि गला आमे केही मने रखी पारिलुनी फिलिपाइंस रे अछंती कलिंग ट्राइब अछंती आउ थाईलैंड रे कलिंग गोटे धानर ना होची कलिंग गोटे वेराइटी तो सेमिति सब कलिंग ना रे आपण देखिबे विभिन्न जगह रे से सब देश माने करे तार आपण पाइबे रेमनांस रेमनांस पाइबे बेबी तो मु चाहूची जे आमे चेष्टा करबा जेमति आउतरे पुनी समस्त को रिकनेक्ट करबा आ पुनी थरे यूनाइटेड हवा समस्त
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Just madam just would add करी अपन जानछन कि मलेशिया रे गोटे रिवर अछि जाता रिवर ना होछि क्लांग
Yes.
क्लांग रिवर आउ एठी गोटे क्लिंग वर्ड यूज करନ୍ତି क्लिंग कोनती जो माने कि गोटे रेंगाधर सा माने भल कि जानथिबे जोटा कि भारतीय माननकु गोटे गाली भलिया दिया हुए क्लिंग है कि बट मु जानि नै आगे मते हिस्टोरी नो किंतु क्लांग क्लिंग एगुडा सुनले लागुची कि जेमिति कि एगुडा भी कलिंग सहित केमिति कनेक्टेड
Yeah. Anyway, just to know.
जेमती कि माने करंतु देखंतु हमर ओडिसा रे केते प्रकार रो न्यूज़पेपर अछि किंतु आपण जेहेतु समाज होची सबटु पुराना न्यूज़पेपर आउ बहुत माने मात्रा रे सर्कुलेटेड आपण देखिबे लोक माने कहबे माने जे कोनोसी न्यूज़पेपर टिके समाजटा देलु एमती कहबे माने सेटा अन्य कोनोसी न्यूज़पेपर हेता सेमिति कलिंगर लोक जेहेतु बहुत परिमाण जाय कि सिटी रहउतिले तेनु जे भारतीय लोक गले से माने कहउतिले कलिंग क्लिंग बोली से माने कहउतिले
करेक्ट
से माने जेहेतु तांकर जगह गुडा माडी बसिले लोक माने जाय कि तेनु तांकर गोटे माने खराब धारणा हम लोक मान को प्रति कोठी नदीर ना आपण देखिबे काम्बोडिया रे सब महेंद्र पर्वत माने जोटा हमर अछि एरे गजपति रे सेटा होची तांकर पूजा करूतिले कौंडिन्य जे एठी हमर एठू जाईतिले तेनु सेठी मध्ये से सेठी महेंद्रगिरी रो ये रखी चंदी एमती माने हमर माने चाहिले हमें माने हमें पुणी आउतरे रिवाइव करि परिबा सब माने आउतरे यूनाइट करि परिबा से सब जिंस
Wonderful, ma. Wonderful. Anyway, this regarding this Kondias, is it Kondias?
Kaundinya.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. There is a historian who always talk about Chola, Chera, and one more, three.
Pallava.
Yeah. Pallava, okay, and Pandyas. And one day, he talks about this story of how the Odia prince married one of the king's daughter in Cambodia. I think that's a story I think dear sister was sharing, and he was sharing in English. I'm trying to get that copy and send to brother. Okay. I've seen that. I've seen that maybe a few years ago. He said, I always talk about the Chola Charan, but today I'm going to talk something very new, and that's how he.
This gentleman,
yes.
this gentleman is a Malaysian.
No, he I think he's looks like French or something like that, or Canadian, something like that.
Do you still have access to him?
Yeah, I'll manage to get, because I've sent that to our Malaysian museum, saying that the Kalinga people have connection with Cambodia.
Okay, try to connect to that gentleman, and if possible, we'll also try to get his that complete story. We'll try to get it on Kalinga history. Okay.
Yeah, that is one. Another one is Tejas Naik. Tejas Naik have written about 5,000 years old history of India history, and he will start from coins. You know,
numismatics.
And then what he will do, he will share with the professors, and he will say, I'm a kindergarten student today here, and that's how he will take off. And I have communicated with him, and then when I asked him about Kalinga, he says he has not, he has heard about it, he has involved in few talks, but he has not done much research on that, because he do other things, the 5,000 years old Indian history,
okay,
and also about the Mughals, and these are because this chronology, as I told you, why it took interest in me. Another great story. My grandparents, they used to chant in the evenings after working, and they would chant, Mahabharata, all this. It seems one Indonesian elderly person, he heard this, came to them and said, in my village in Sumatra, that my people also chant similar songs, similar chanting.
Rengadhar will switch to Odia, because I saw that no non-Odia people are there, so we'll switch to Odia.
ए कथानिटा मो माटा आमती कहिछि हमरो जे अजा कहिथिले सो जेतबुल को ताके ए हमरो जो पुराण गुरा पडिवे ए लुकोटा ए बैस लुकोटा सुनि के आई कोइला ए पुराण हम गां रे हम पडिथिलो से गां बोले से गां भी सुमात्रा Bali,
Acha.
Sumatra situ. They came earlier to Malaysia. So when the British cleared the jungle,
ବିଶ୍ୱଭାରତୀ
when
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ
my
ଶୁଣୁଛନ୍ତି ତ?
ଆମର ଯେତେବେଳକୁ ଯୋଉ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଯୋଉ ଆମ ଓଡିଆ ଲୋକ ଧରିକି ଆଇଲେ ତାଙ୍କେ ପ୍ରଥମ କଣ କଲେ ବୋଲେ ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ଟା କ୍ଲିୟର କଲେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ଟା କ୍ଲିୟର କଲେ one tree 2 weeks ଲାଗିବ
ଏତେ ବଡ
they will use a big chain, it seems. There is no modern laser or whatever it is that time. It will take 2 weeks, and that's how they suffered. And many of them went back. Many of them went back. So when they are tired in the evening, they will get together, they will eat, and then they will start singing, chanting. That's how this story came in. And when my mother told me, I was, was very interesting. How come Odia people are in India? I know that. We are Malaysian here. And how come these Indonesian fellas, they are talking about our Odia culture?
Wow.
That is the day I start doing my work. Actually, I went further and further. When I got a job in the newspaper, that's how, I went very deep into it. So all this story, about 30, 40 stories, all I knew about it. I had a lot of records, but, all gone due to a heavy rain and a flood. But anyway, this is what actually, what do you call it, the people of, what do you call it just now? Indonesia lokomane. Either Bali, Jakarta. They amuta agoti aur ochiti amagare. So British told them that we are going to build houses and we are going to have pipe water and electricity. So they offered their land and they went deeper inside. And that's how the Orissa people took over their land. They worked there, they make their garden, they rear cow, goat, chicken, and we were very rich. When the relative come, we will run and catch 2, 3 chicken, we slaughter them and we cook and they will eat. You see? So this was the life that you cannot get in Google. We cannot get. These are the stories.
Rengadhar bhai apun jaha kହୁଛନ୍ତି na mane
you see? So that's what I told brother. I'm already 69. I had twice hypo. So whatever material I have, I'm sending to you. Please keep everything there. I have few people. There's somebody from Japan. His name is Kanu, something like that. So he speak a Japanese language, and I've given him some also. Then the other person is in Thailand. Dr. Rengadhar. He's the one who organized our group to Southeast Asia.
No, Dr. Adris.
Adris.
Damadar.
So it is a very surprising story. In Malaysia, only at home we will touch the feet of the elderly people. Okay? So when I met him in Kuala Lumpur in a brick field, and in a public, I just got down. I was walking to the hotel in a public. I called him. In the public, he just touched my feet. I said, no, we don't practice in public. It's only at home. Then he said, Musa, এটা a hard true mutam teki, respect করছি. Just imagine. So you see, our culture is so rich. We don't care what people say. These are good things that it is with us. We only do at home. Normally the children, or the younger people, when they give respect, or when we teach them, they do. But you see, these are the people. Dr. Adres is one of them who has all the history. There are few, 5, 6 people. Singapore, there is somebody else. So in Cambodia, there's also somebody. I've passed to them all this material. Now we have officially, we have this. Maybe we can start with the museum. Okay, Malaysian Museum. The one of the officer who voluntarily do this is a Ceylonese, and he really worked with us. And we came up with the history of the birthplace of mine. So. This is the one that I display. I think Dr. Satya Bhatta, I've seen. This is how we started. Okay, the history of the birthplace of mine, my mother. The Odia lesser known Indian community. Okay, it's a wonderful thing. this January, this book is going to be out. Okay, and then our dances, what dance we call this? Chow dance. Okay, and our food, our food, and then our temple, Thakurani Mandir is here. This is what we are planning now with our brothers. That we are going to take the Indian High Commission to visit.
It is not visible. It is not visible. Yeah.
But now.
Yeah.
Okay. This is 100 over years. 100 over years. And of course, our holy and Odissi dance. Okay. All these are part and parcel of our development. From childhood, we have grown with this.
किंतु एबे जो आपण जो स्टोरीटा आपण कहिले जे गच्छ काटिया पे 2 सप्ताह लागुथला एवं सेथरे से जो सुमात्रा लोक माने संगारे देख एटा माने जेम ऑफ एन इंफॉर्मेशन.
That's right. I believe that whatever thing we Google, sometimes for the sake of writing, people will write. But when we talk from the heart, from what our parents has told, it have to be remain. And I also learned one more thing: when somebody cook home food, okay, and it is generation. I mean, test and trial has gone through, isn't it? Our grandparents might have cooked for 20, 30 years. Then their children cook, and then that will be the original. You see, but when we go through the recipe of modern day recipe, you see, the what we call it? That's a nice word here. The etymology. The etymology difference will take place due to season, due to time, due to epoch, and it will change. You see. So if you really try, as what Padmani said, one day you have to do your, you have to give your brother good food. And
dalma prepare करछन्ते
musur dalma, yeah. But in the dalma we add many things. It is not the
now
real
dalma, but carrot, potatoes, bygone also.
Mix egala. You see, that one more thing I remember is that soup musur karibe from the labu, what we call it?
I forgot the name.
Ganto.
Ambila.
Amaro panchanano janibo. Labu can we do labu?
Is it ambila? No. Is it ambila?
Ambila made of what?
Madam, आपन mute अछि.
Ambila, the core ambila, the fruit is what? It's not a vegetable or a fruit. It's something mixed. They call it
pumpkin. It's pumpkin.
Pumpkin, yeah. But Odia re
Kokharu. Pani kokharu.
Nine.
Boit kokharu. Boitalu.
Exactly. They will make a kind of soup. My goodness, it will be so sweet and sour and wonderful. You see. So
I can't. Whether I can get a try.
Your mother-in-law has done for us. Every function in my house. Your mother-in-law will do. You know what? She will do that. The small balls, watery, goita. She'll make goita.
That one I can do.
She made
that one I can do. The one.
Remember, you made also, isn't it, for 1 hour Odia gathering?
Yes.
This one, my friends all came. They tried little bit. My goodness! First thing they finished that. The biryani rice, the chicken all become secondary. So these are the things that we have to continue. You see? So
what
only
about Umburto Bhaja? The one I did one.
That's right. So I tell you, sometimes this kind of gathering will bring us back due to the what do you call it, transition period of education, of moving out. Come on.
ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ବୋଇତାଳୁ କଥାଟା କହିଲେନି କି ସେଟା ଗଞ୍ଜାମ ଅଞ୍ଚଳରେ କଖାରୁକୁ ମାନେ ପମ୍ପକିନ୍ କୁ ବୋଇତାଳୁ କହନ୍ତି କାହିଁକି ନା ଗଞ୍ଜାମରୁ ହିଁ ବହୁତ ଯାଉଥିଲେ ବୋଇତ ଯୋଉଥିରେ କି ସେଟାକୁ ନେଇକି ଯାଉଥିଲେ ସେମାନେ ମାନେ ଯାଆନ୍ତି ବୋଇତରେ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ବୋଇତିଆଳ କହନ୍ତି ଆଉ ଯୋଉମାନେ
That's right.
ସେ ଫଳଟାକୁ ନେଇକି ଯାଆନ୍ତି ସେଇ ଫଳଟାର ନାଁ ବୋଇତିଆଳୁ।
That's right.
Cute,
ତାର
cute.
ସେଲ୍ଫ ଲାଇଫ ଅଧିକା, ସେଟା ବହୁତ
That's
ଦିନ
right. This
ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ
is the
ରହିବ।
one. This is the one actually etymological transition.
ହଁ
See, when
ମାନେ
time
ଯେହେତୁ
passes,
ବହୁତ ଦିନ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ମାସେ 2 ମାସ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ରହିପାରିବ ମାନେ ୱିଦାଉଟ୍ ରେଫ୍ରିଜରେସନ, ତେଣୁ ସେଇଟାକୁ ସେମାନେ ନେଇକି ଯାଆନ୍ତି ଫଳ ହିସାବରେ ବୋଇତରେ।
that's right. ବୋଇତାଳୁ।
ଏବେ ସବୁ ଗୋଲ ଗୋଲ ହେଲାଣି, କିନ୍ତୁ ଏମିତି ଲମ୍ବାର ବୋଇତ ସେପ ର ଥାଏ, ସେଗୁଡାକ ଏମିତି ଲମ୍ବା ହେଇକି ବି ସେଇଟା ନେଇକି ଯାଆନ୍ତି ବୋଲି ତା ନା ବୋଇତିଆଳୁ।
That's right. Okay.
ବୋଇତ means
So,
ship.
yeah. So to correct that, actually it starts from the etymological differences of transition. So even the term changes. The original name will be different due to transportation or due to the person who carry. If the person who carried that breaks something halfway, it's a different name given. You see, if a person carries certain thing to a long distance, they give a name for it. You see, so this is how the etymological transition took place in the anthropologists or in study of this.
अच्छा,
So I
रंगाधर
was
भाई,
really big.
Ranggadhar bhai, it is already
Yeah.
9:08. I know you have
That's
to
right.
take insulin, and already 2 days back you had some health issue, so let us not prolong. So
Yeah.
I feel like going on for more hours
Yeah.
together, but then let us call it a day.
Sure. Sure.
So
Tomorrow early morning I have to go to Kuala Lumpur. Another 2 hours journey. I have
no.
appointment.
Oh,
So anyway, thank you very much. Ama kya kହୁଛୁ କୁହ?
ଗଞ୍ଜାମରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଏଇ ଯୋଉଟା ଆପଣ ମାଲେସିଆରେ ଏବେ ବି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ପ୍ରହ୍ଲାଦ ନାଟକ, ଆଉ ଆମର ସାବିତ୍ରୀ ସତ୍ୟବାନ ନାଟକ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେଟା ଗଞ୍ଜାମରେ ହଉଥିଲା, ଯୋଉଟା ମୋ ଜେଜେବାପା ଥିଲେ, ମାନେ ଶିଖଉଥିଲେ ନାଚ, ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରୁପ୍ ଥିଲା ଯୋଉଟା ନେଇକି ସେ ଗଞ୍ଜାମର ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଅଞ୍ଚଳରେ ବହୁତ ରୟାଲ ଫ୍ୟାମିଲିରୁ ସେ ଆୱାର୍ଡ ପାଇଛନ୍ତି ସେଥିପାଇଁ ବୋଲି ପ୍ରହ୍ଲାଦ ନାଟକ କରୁଥିଲେ। ତ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଭିଡିଓ ଗୁଡାକ ପଠେଇଥିଲେ, ସେଟା ଦେଖିକିରି ମୋର ସେଇ କଥାଟା ମନେ ପଡିଲା ଯେ ସେତେ ପୁରୁଣା ଗୀତ ସବୁ ସେଇଥିରେ ଅଛି, ମୋ ଜେଜେବାପା ଯୋଉଡାକ ଶିଖଉଥିଲେ। ତ ସେଇଟା ଓଭରନାଇଟ୍ ଚାଲୁଥିଲା, ଲୋକମାନେ ଖାଇ ପିଇ ସାରିବେ, ଡିନର କରିସାରିବେ, ତାପରେ ଆସିକି ବସିବେ, ଡ୍ରାମା ଆରମ୍ଭ ହବ, ରାତି ସାରା ଚାଲିବ। ତ ମତେ ଆଜି ସେଇ ପ୍ରକାର ଫିଲିଂ ହଉଛି ଯେ ଆଜିର ଡ୍ରାମାଟା ଏମିତି ରାତି ସାରା ଚାଲନ୍ତା କି?
Another 100 years, what is happening today, our future generation will talk about it. Is it? So actually we are building the bridge. I agree with Ma Vishwa that amro e jo Purnata Kopuri British jo amti ki jo divide and rule କରିନଥିଲେ, ଆମେ ଆସିକି ମିଶିବା, ମିଶିକି ଏଟା କରିବା। ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଶେଷ କଥାଟା କେନ ଗୋଟେ ମୁଁ କହିବାକୁ ଇଚ୍ଛା ହଉଛି ବୋଇଲେ, ମୁଁ ଆସିକି INA କମିଟିର ଅଛି, ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଆର୍ମି କମିଟିର ଅଛି, ସୁଭାଷ ଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ବୋଷର ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମରେ। ଏବେ ତମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହୁ ବୋଇଲେ ସେଟା ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହୁଛି, ଆମର ପୁରାନେ ସାଥୀ ଘଡ଼ିବେ ନାଇଁ। ସୋ କିଛଟା ହେଲା ସେଇଟା ବୋଇଲେ ଗୋଟେ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟିଂ ଥିଙ୍ଗ ହେଲା, ଆମର ବାପାଟା ତାଙ୍କୁ ଟିକେ ବୟସ 25-30 ହବ, ସୁଭାଷ ଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ବୋଷ ଗୋଟେ ସ୍ପେଶାଲ ରିକ୍ୱେଷ୍ଟ କଲା କେଣ ବୋଇଲେ, ଆମେ ଉତ୍କଳ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ଭେଟିବି। ଉତ୍କଳ ଲୋକ, who are the Utkala people? So
We are the Utkal people.
So what happened? My father and few of them, I don't know whether they walked, took a bicycle or what. They went to Singapore to meet Subhash Chandra Bose. And this is what my father used to share with us. And he has brought certain photographs, certain antique, certain thing that given by Subhash Chandra Bose. Yeah, and he brought it home and he kept home. Here come my grandfather who worked with the British, and he used to bring people from Odisha. He get 5 cents per head. In 1905, 1910, he get 5 cents. And this story is told by Punchanano's father, who is 95 years old now. He told that he was a young boy. He used to be with my grandfather, and he also called my grandfather Odia, something like that. And he used to live with our family. And this story, actually very interesting story, that when my grandfather came to know that the British is going to plan to go house to house to check, of whatever property of Subhash Chandra Bose. At that time, already America already attacked Japan, the Hiroshima, Nagasaki. So the Japanese was losing and they were running away. That is the time the British came back and they went back to check. So my grandfather told my mother my father was not at home. My father is a bit aggressive man, army man, and he told my mother that if you don't give me this, the British will kill your husband and kill all, and then they will kill your children, that my grandchildren. Then my mother got scared and opened that golden box. My grandfather took the whole thing and he burned it, destroyed it. What he said was true. After 2 weeks, the British went house to house. That's how it saved my father. But my father was angry in the beginning with his father-in-law, that is my Odia. But later part realized that he has saved his life. So he started respecting my grandfather. But when my mother told the story to us, when my father told the story to us, we were also upset. Now I'm a grandfather. Now certain thing is also happening. Certain old things, certain old books, the children say, why you want to keep this all, is getting dust and rusty. Throw that. You see? So what to do? This is the situation today. Okay, things are happening. I try to photostat and keep so that the new print will be better than the old book. So these are the things that has happened in our life. We have heard from our own parents, and you cannot find in the Google. I can tell you, I can guarantee you cannot find in the Google. Even now, the story of Subhash Chandra Bose have to rewrite. You see, because the British gave a picture that he has ran away. It seems he went through back door, he dressed like a woman and ran away. These are books written by the British. No, I mean, British instruct some of the people to write that way. So the true story is different. He really fought. So these are the things, and it happened day first day. Next to me was a display of Subhash Chandra Bose dress, topi, his artifacts. So I dressed that way. I took a photo and sent to Sunil. You got it, brother?
Yeah, I have already posted in Kalinga History group also.
Okay, so somebody told me I'm the brother of Subhash Chandra Bose. So I dressed that way, and I tell you that it's an exhibition center. When no one there, we will meet other exhibitor and we talk about it. So just last week it over, and that's how our GOPIO, we work with GOPIO very well. Because I've given my word, I have to display my Orissa culture. And I tell you, there were 4 to 5 weddings was taking place in my community. My nephew, my grandson's engagement, my cousin brother's wedding. I can't afford to go. My children all went. I was there. So here we have to look at priority. You see, priority for what?
We are
for
grateful.
The future.
We are
Exactly,
grateful.
for the future. You see, I can spend some time. I can have a good dinner with them. I like to meet my old friends there. You see, like when Ponchananu come, definitely I'll meet him because he's very far away. So this is what actually along the we have to sacrifice. So thank you very much. Okay, next Wednesday we'll meet. Next Wednesday will be a class day.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will learn Kodomo. Ma,
we will have a session like this the day Padmashini madam completes her Odia learning.
Oh yeah.
The day Kamalakumari madam gives a certificate, we will celebrate on that day.
Definitely. You see. Thank you very much.
सुनील भाई और रंगाधर भाई जॉइंट ड्यूटी एटा जे जिते शीघ्र संभव हमर मालयेशिया रे जिते हमर वयस्क लोक माने अछंती समस्त
पंचानन भाई आपण को दायित्व रहिला आपण यथाशीघ्र आपण बापा पाखु जाइकी सेठू गोटे मते कॉल देले मु इमीडिएटली आई विल सेट अप ए मीटिंग. ओके, यू विल रिकॉर्ड हला आखो को जंती आखुर रस बाहर जंती करा जायनी कि पूरा ताको पेडी की आपण बापा पाखरे जहा भी एक्सपीरियंस अछि सब तक हमें कैप्चर करबा हला. ओके
सुनील भाई मु भाबुतिले गोटे कथा जे जो हमर आमे म्यांमार रो लोक मान को सहित भी कनेक्टेड तो जस्ट खाली गोटे थर आमे कथबार्ता है कि सेतिकी रे आमे रही गले तो पुणी थरे आमे से पाड़ी बाबू सहित टिके कनेक्टेड होते और सेमान को सहित भी एकाठी आमे मालेशिया और म्यांमार
आगे आगे आगे
ओडिशा एकाठी होते पुणी थरे
आगे 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 बढ़िया आगे आगे
Yeah, in fact, there's Dr. Adres is working on the forgotten Odia of Myanmar, Cambodia, and he want to include Malaysia into it. So there's a book, Professor Parikshit, my brother is also Parikshit. That is, he's also 90 over years. He is writing the history. So I'll give my script, what I've done. I have break into 3 parts. The Kalinga is the first batch, that is 1,000 years ago. Then we came into the British Raj, and the 3rd batch is our brother, Satyabrata Naik. So these are the 3 parts. There's no more 4th part. Okay. So the first part, the Kalinga came, of course, not enough proof, evidence. But when we came, there are proof and evidence. Like what we said, what our grandfather have said. You see? And if we, our group, Punchanano, our group is no more. Actually, Punchanano considered as a 3rd batch. You see? No, 4th, sorry, 4th. You see, my grandfather, my parent, myself, he's my nephew. So he's a 4th generation considered. And I have my grandchildren. You see, so what we do is, as we have to work together, it's a big, big job. We can have a conference in Malaysia about our Kalinga conference, or Odia conference. Venue, I can arrange with GOPIO, the place that Dr. Saberta came. It is a school, it's a Tamil school, wonderful school, got hall. At any time, hundreds of people can be catered, but different portion. You cannot get everybody together because they don't have a big hall. Maximum about 200, 300, but batch by batch. You see, we can have plenary system. You see, so group by group, and we have to work. I think we have the responsibility. See how we came and kept a record. Same thing, the 3rd batch also have responsibility. You see, earning money is one part of it, career is one part of it. But this history, like what today we are doing, in 100 years ago, this will be a history.
Milestone. This is also a milestone kind of thing.
Exactly. So this milestone is a continuum.
Yeah.
It is a continuum. CONTINUUM.
Correct.
This continuum is actually a continuous kind of thing in the anthropology history. So we will work together and we learn from each other. The most important thing, we learn from each other and we grow. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll meet up. Okay. As you say, our real enemy is our health. See, outside it looks, 69 years, you can say 40 years, but inside it's all crumbling one by one, dismantling. Can't repair. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay.
Namaskar.
And good night.
Good
Okay.
night.
And please do the closing. Sunil, please do the closing, brother.
Yeah. Okay. Now, thanks everyone for joining in today's excellent session, which was very helpful in knowing on or unraveling many unknown fact. So we'll keep meeting once in a while, and as discussed today, we'll also create a database of experience from senior persons who are in Malaysia. तो समस्त को धन्यवाद पुणी आउ थे आम भेटा गोटे नुआ अध्याय खूब शीघ्र आज आम ताले रखा समस्त को धन्यवाद पुणी नमस्कार
Namaskar. Thank you. Thank you.